What's going on, people? Back at y'all again with another Best Life Moment with Coach P. Cooks. What I want to talk about in this video is commitment and perseverance. So, a couple days ago, we had a really bad storm come through my neighborhood, you know, in the county where I live at, and it knocked the power out. You know, mind you, I've been living in this area for a few years now. We've had storms that have come and knocked out power, but it was never knocked out for more than 20, 30 minutes because they're pretty good at getting power back up, because they know in the area where I live at, a lot of people, or just about everybody, have suck pumps in their homes, and that's because of where I live. The sewer system is not like that of a city or whatever, so everybody has sewer suck pumps to pump the water out of their house into drainage ditches or whatever, you know. So this particular time, you know, storm came through, pretty bad storm, and it knocked power out, and power was out. You know, they had initially said that the power would be back on that particular night, which was Wednesday night at 11:30, but then they came back and power wasn't due to be back on until 11:30 yesterday, 11:30 p.m. yesterday. Fortunately, it came on a little bit before then, but you know, with the suck pump going out, you know, I'm thinking like, yeah, I'll wait 20, 30 minutes, see if the power's gonna come back on. It didn't come back on, so I had to manually get the water out of the suck pump, you know, little pit, you know, and I did that for probably about maybe an hour, you know. But then it rained real hard for like 5-10 minutes. You know, the basement didn't flood, but the water was rising, and I was having, you know, it was a battle trying to keep up with the water, you know, so it wouldn't flood the basement. You know, then it subsided. I was working on getting it down. At this time, it had sort of kind of cleared up. You know, my wife, she had ran out and she went to see if the power was on at the gym, so she went to the gym, whatever. But then it rained again, and then the water was coming back up, and I called her, you know, and I told her, like, listen, you're gonna have to come home and man this so I can go find a generator. You know, now mind you, I knew I needed to get a generator, but every time I wanted to get one, it just never seemed like I really needed it. But this particular time, it came to head that yes, you need to get a generator. You know, so mind you, storm, power out in a whole lot of places. I'm calling around, nobody got generators. You know, then one place I found that had a generator, you know, I get there, they was getting ready to close, and they just sold the last one before I pulled up, and I had to, you know, after I found out that, I was like, man, where am I gonna look to get go get a generator? You know, so I was looking, you know, on my phone while I was sitting in the parking lot. You know, Lowe's didn't have any where I lived at. Home Depot didn't have anywhere I lived at. Then I was like, you know, I called a Lowe's that was outside of, you know, where I lived, and asked if they had some, you know, and the young man was like, yeah, we got 5 of them, and, you know, and they were in a certain price range. I'm like, cool, I'm on my way, I'll be there in 5 minutes. So get to the place, you know, they only had 4 left, and it was only you know, and they didn't have any of the ones that he had told me that they had in the price range I was looking for. So they had 2 more expensive ones, and, you know, and they you know, was trying to upsell whatever, you know, but I wasn't buying. I was like, listen, I only really need it for, you know, my suck pump and maybe the refrigerator or my deep freezer. That's it. You know, I'm not trying to plug up a lot of, you know, appliances, you know, because, you know, you're going through storms like that. That's a good time for you to do other stuff like read a book or sit down and actually talk to your family. But anyway, you know, I knew that it was an issue, you know, and this is where I'm talking about commitment and perseverance. I knew that it was an issue, you know, and I knew that eventually it was going to need to be taken care of. But it wasn't until I was committed to resolving the problem that I fixed the problem, you know. And that's one thing about commitment or dealing with anything. Unless you become committed to fixing a situation or resolving a situation, chances are it won't be fixed, you know. So when looking at, you know, trying to change things or fix things or whatever, however you want to classify it, it's going to require commitment. Because without commitment, it's going to always be an excuse why something won't get done or why it won't get done or whatnot. So you have to be committed, you know, in order to you know, resolve any issue or whatever. Because without no commitment, you know, there's no consistency or no persistent, purposeful actions to fix the situation. You know, so got the you know, they was trying to talk upsell me and all that, and they couldn't upsell me, and that's another whole different conversation. Because if you're committed to a situation or a circumstance, and you know what needs to be done to fix the circumstance or situation, and you know what's needed to fix that circumstance or situation, can't nobody talk you out of what you plan to do. You know, the other guy that was there to get one of those generators, they got him. They upsold him on something, and I was telling them about it because where I work at, the one particular generator they were trying to upsell him to, they have one on site, you know, just for, we got the big commercial generator, but we have the little smaller one for, you know, certain situations. But anywho, they got him because he wasn't really sure what he needed, you know. But whenever you're committed to something and you have a clear understanding of what's needed, can't nobody talk you out of what you plan to do. So to end with this, when it comes to perseverance, okay, now I have the generator. So now when I get back home, it's late, you know, it's around 8:30, you know, it gets dark around 9:15. So I gotta put the wheels on the generator, right? Gotta put the legs on the generator. Mind you, it's almost dark. My wife, she's doing the best she can to help me, you know, in the situation while she constantly keeping an eye on the sub pump water level, you know. So I'm out there sweating. It's raining a little bit, you know. I'm getting ate up by mosquitoes, you know, and I had to put the wheels on and the legs on, and you know, I get those on, you know, then I got to get gas in it. You know, I had a little gas my lawnmower, I put that in there to get it fired up, plug the cords up, nothing kicks on. You know, then I'm like, man, I gotta hurry up and figure out why this stuff is not coming on. So long story short, I hit the reset button, bam, everything came on, and then I'm good to go. My reason for telling that part of the story is persistence. Even though you have what's necessary for you to do whatever you need to do, but it doesn't mean that situations, even with commitment, that obstacles won't come up. But you got to be able to think on your feet to resolve situations. And I could have been like, man, forget it. But I knew that if I didn't stay committed to the situation and persevere through the situation to see what's really going on and how to fix the situation, my basement would have flooded. So know that with any issue, you're gonna have to have a certain level of commitment. and a certain level of perseverance, because issues are going to always surface to try to distract you or discourage you from following through on what the planned initiative is. So with that being said, you know, always know that in resolving issues, circumstances, situations, whatever, you know, however you want to look at it, it's going to take a certain level of commitment. It's going to take a certain level of perseverance to see the situation through. Because even if you're committed, doesn't necessarily mean that issues won't come up to try to discourage you from completing the task at hand. So when you're going through change, when you're dealing with circumstances and situations that warrant fixing and some attention, you know, be prepared to commit and be prepared to persevere through that commitment, because even in you having a clear idea of what the circumstance is, what's needed to fix the situation, issues may still arise to try to discourage you from following through. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed this Best Life Moment with Coach P. Cooks. Peace, and I'm out.